Hi, I'm Bree, and I live in Redding, California. I didn't grow up same-sex attracted, grew up in a family that loves Jesus, but I did grow up with a sense of feeling disconnected in my family. And I want to talk about two areas in my life that I think really shaped my sexuality long before I ever even was same-sex attracted or experienced that with women. So the first was experiencing a sense of disconnect from my own mom and wanting empathy and nurture and to feel empowered. And there were some ways I didn't feel that connection to her. And so deep down, I was looking for that. And I think that really shaped me. I couldn't tell the ways it shaped me until, later into my adult life. And then the second thing would have been sexual abuse. Out of a traumatic experience, men becoming unsafe to me. And so when I was 15, a young man attacked me and held me underwater and sexually assaulted me. And I came away from that completely traumatized, and men became scary to me. In college, I met my best friend, and she was the first person I told about what happened to me. She also was incredibly safe and kind and wonderful. And I'll just say, to this day, she's my best friend. Like, I've been best friends with her for, I think, over 12 years now. And so the miracle and the supernatural, miraculous power of God is that she's the only person I haven't had a story of like attraction to a lot of women, but I was in a sexual relationship with my best friend, and God took that friendship and restored it, and she's still my best friend. And it wasn't anything sudden. I think I was in a sexual relationship with her for about 3 years, and I always knew Jesus, but the Lord was kind of knocking on the door of my heart, just like prompting me, hey, I have so much more for you. And because I never identified as lesbian or bi, I actually found it easier to just kind of stay in my hidden lifestyle in college. And because I thought I wasn't embracing the identity, I wasn't headed in a wrong direction. And then there was a moment, I remember I woke up next to her in bed, completely unsatisfied, like completely feeling hopeless inside. And the Lord just kind of like revealed to me, hey, do you realize if you stay with her, you'll marry her? And I just couldn't believe it. It wasn't like something I had planned on. He goes, but do you understand that the more that you stay with her, you're actually reinforcing the disconnect that you have with men? So that was kind of a wake-up call for me. And so we went and told our church, which is so scary for me to go and be vulnerable like that. And then God began to peel things back in layers. Like, I didn't have this overnight transformation. He was really, really gentle with me. Over 5 years, I saw transformation. Like, as the Lord said, hey, I want you to stay friends with her. I want you to work it out with her. And so we had kind of our own separate healing journeys, and then our own journey together in our friendship to get free of codependency. Nothing I could have done on my own, but something that the Lord did in partnership with me. And probably two or 3 years in now, we've chosen, okay, we don't want to have a sexual relationship. We want to stay friends, and we want the Lord to be in our friendship, and we want to be submitted to him in our friendship. But we had gone through a season of, I ended up in the same bed with her for, I think, a month, falling out into old patterns. Long story short, I ended up at this women's gym, laying upside down on a ball, tapping into grief, which is where our diaphragms and our lungs hold untapped grief. And I got these flashbacks to that sexual abuse that I had, things I hadn't seen in the past. All this grief came up, and I wept my way through it. And when I got home, the Lord said, hey, I want you to recommit and rededicate. Like, I want you to, this is the last time. There's no more, you don't need her. You don't need to sleep in the same bed as her anymore. It's not like, it's like the training wheels. It's like a security blanket, and you don't need it anymore. And I remember thinking, I've gone this many years with like willpowering it, trying to not, and just to refrain, but it being like still a struggle. So I told her, hey, we can't be in the same bed anymore. And she's like, I know. And so she said goodnight. I went to my own bed, and I remember it felt like being sleep trained. Like, my mom had to be like, no, you need to sleep on your own. And I remember I felt like I was getting deliverance. Like, in my bed, I was weeping and crying and screaming, not wanting to be alone. And I remember saying, Jesus, I know that you're real, but I need to feel you. And in that moment, I felt Jesus come in my room, lay down next to me on my bed, and hold me. And I could feel like his arm, like around me. And he's like, I'm right here, and you're not alone. And anyways, I woke up in the morning, and I was so like, I can't believe it. I went the whole night, without needing my best friend. And And I went and I hugged her. And when I hugged her, I felt this, not a void, I felt something very different. And if you've ever had someone that you love that very closely, you know, like the smell of their pheromone, like the scent of them, and it was like it was gone. Like it just was, I mean, there was like that bond that I'd had with her for years and years and years that was addicting, you know, and it was like that was completely removed. And since that moment, I have never had the same desire for her. Like the Lord took my partnership, but also did something that I could not do on my own. And since then, our friendship has grown and grown and thrived and thrived. And I think it's been maybe 4 years since that moment. And we actually get to help other women. We've come across many girls that have, young women that have friendships like this that are asking for help. So we've gotten to help in that way. Additionally, you know, the Lord's done a lot of work in reconciling me back to my family. And in the same way, it's in process now, but like restoring me back to more and deeper relationship with my mom. And so he's come full circle for me.